After a highly entertaining opening weekend, round 2 of the Aviva Premiership had a lot to live up to, and with nearly 300 points scored, it didn't disappoint. The opening game on Friday night saw last year's runners-up Saracens visit 2012 champions Harlequins. In what was billed as a close encounter between two of England's top teams, only one side was ever really in it. Charlie Hodgson scored early on following his own charge down. In an eventful game for the fly half, he would finish with 22 points, adding a conversion and 5 penalties, as well as getting in the sin bin. In a performance littered with mistakes by Quins, Chris Ashton's second half try for Saracens summed it all up. Firstly, a handling error from Ollie Lindsay-Haig in midfield, and then a lapse in concentration from winger Marlon Yard, allowing the England flyer Ashton to sneak in to touchdown. Will Fraser scored the final try to add some more gloss to the score. A 39-0 home loss, and Quins with some work to do if they are to challenge for a top 4 place this season. The action continued on Saturday at the Rec, where Bath took on Premiership newcomers London Welsh. Ollie Barkley was returning to his old stomping ground, with his Welsh side looking to bounce back from their opening day thumping to Exeter. They got off to a nightmare start though, as Chris Cook finished off after a fine break from flanker Carl Ferns. Welsh made amends moments later though, with their first points of the season. Pete Brown, the scorer after some swift hands, created the overlap outside. Samasi Rockadaguni and then Jonathan Joseph gave the home side a 24-7 lead, with Ford his usual immaculate self from the kicking tee. Seb Stegman did haul one back though just before half-time to keep the visitors within touching distance. The second half had 6 tries in all. Firstly, Leroy Houston grabbing the bonus point for Bath. Welsh then hit back through Jewell after a superb length of the field breakaway from the Exiles. Rockadaguni hit back with his second before what could be a crucial moment in Welsh's season. Lachlan McCaffrey scoring their 4th try, and with it their first point of the season. There was still time for a couple more Bath tries, Joseph with his second and Ferns wriggling over to mean another 50 points against Welsh in what's looking like being a difficult season for the new boys. Gloucester and Sale played out an entertaining match at Kingsholm, with the hosts looking to bounce back from a disastrous opening game defeat to Saints. Things didn't go to plan from the start though, Luke Arscott scoring after just a minute following a chip through from Danny Cipriani. And the latter was at the heart of everything good from the Sharks. Chris Cussiter, the beneficiary this time after some more magic from the boot of Cipriani, created the opportunity. More good work from the England fly half allowed for Luke McLean to be put in for a 3rd try. And at 17-6 at half-time, the visitors had a commanding lead. Greg Laidlaw penalties continued to chip away at the score though, and Johnny May soon had them level after the break, touching down after a quality chip through by Henry Trinder. Further tries were added for the hosts, firstly from Rob Cook and then a penalty try awarded by the referee to make the comeback complete. Despite a Cipriani consolation, late on the home side couldn't be caught, Gloucester claiming the victory by 34 points to 27 and putting last week's horror show firmly behind them. Saturday's final offering saw Leicester Tigers visiting Exeter Chiefs. Both sides were looking to build on good wins last week, and it was the hosts who drew first blood. Debuters crashing over with Tigers down to 14 following a Nicky Gonover sin bin. The visitors took their time to get going but were level after Freddie Burns chipped through for Anthony Allen, with Burns adding the extras. Chiefs put themselves in the lead again when scrum half Hayden Thomas wrestled his way over. Burns was on form with the boot as he chipped away at Exeter's lead though, and when Ben Young sniped his way over the try line, Leicester had the lead for the first time at 21-17. Steenson got Exeter to within 1 when he fired a penalty over 10 minutes from time. However, substitute Owen Williams got one back to take it away from the hosts, and the losing bonus point was their only consolation. The final score from Sandy Park, Exeter 20, Leicester 24. Sunday's action kicked off with champions Northampton visiting Wasps at Adams Park. In a cagey first half, only 2 penalties were exchanged, but both teams did spend the last 10 minutes before the break a man down. Ashley Johnson and Alex Corbisiero sent to the bin for trading punches. After the break, Stephen Myler added a couple more penalties as Northampton looked to slowly build a lead, which could see them through to victory. However, just before the hour mark, Ashley Johnson sparked a crazy couple of minutes for Wasps, first intercepting a Luther Burrell pass to run in a try. And soon after, Tom Varndell, in for the injured Christian Wade, showed some magic of old as he chipped over Myler and regathered the ball to touchdown. The try converted and Wasps now 17-9 ahead. Rob Miller added another penalty for the home side, and despite a Ben Foden consolation, the champions weren't able to catch their opponents. A superb win for Dai Young's Wasps, and another great performance against one of last season's top two. The final score from Adams Park, Wasps 20, Northampton 16. The final offering saw Newcastle face off against London Irish. Josh Furno got the hosts off to the ideal start with a try after 9 minutes, although the lock was lucky to be on the pitch, having earlier thrown punches and a maul. Shane Geraghty replied with 2 penalties to give the visitors a 6-5 lead at half-time. That lead was extended just after the break when Fergus Mulcrone dotted down after some good work from Geraghty. Scott Wilson and Andy Fenby exchanged tries, but it was Irish who always kept out in front, with Juan Pablo Cecino having a day to forget from the kicking tee, the Argentinian only managing 1 out of 7 kicks. And that would prove to be the difference. Winger Sinotti went over in the corner late on, but Cecino was unable to convert once again. The hosts losing by just 2 points, 2018, and miss out on a massive opportunity to get their first league win since October last year. A look at the table sees Saracens, Bath and Leicester as the only 3 with 2 from 2. There's a typically congested early season mid-table. London, Welsh, Sale and Newcastle, the only clubs yet to record a victory. For all the latest news, highlights, interviews and features, visit premiershiprugby.tv or subscribe to the official YouTube channel.